kwana chese Nsawam road de no mun ko kra no mun ko haya kakra na no mu jina mame
me da se wona ya kasa yen so ye de asem no beko nenim. So you had one of the people who live in the community talking there, saying that some pregnant women have been in vehicles from the Amasaman hospital or on their way to the Amasaman hospital and have actually delivered in the vehicles because a journey which would take 30 minutes now takes over an hour and 30 minutes. And that's of course, it's not the best. I'm crossing over now to a bus stop on the other side to talk to some of the drivers over there and find out if they are going to actually go according to plan and withdraw their services if the road construction does not continue in the next 7 days as they have promised. All right. All right, I have some Okada riders coming over to talk to me now, seeing as they are one of the most affected persons. All right. Good morning, sir. Careful. All right, let's come to this side so that it's safe. Morning, sir. What's your name?
My name is Sami.
Sami, now who you say quite way to be?
Ade bia no na efaso ade adwuma wa hantie no na efaso
ade na obesumi aka fa kwan no
ekwan de nyame anum ne kwani enya kra chese ekwan no faso a unhu ba bia wo fa ye kita moto krampo de wan hwe ya ekwan ntina ka bi kra atimi afa so ana se wate ahwe ama ka bi abo because ubekọ ufi ya na mo se wo konse wo mu a sika ya ye charge no ngeni kwase e charge sa but because of a kwan engine no na e say etimi charge aboarding se na be ya ba e di bi betima ye moto because obekọ aba no obelen ebe sei obetiba nya fault bi okwan so enti no e na ha adwen ma ye nyina emwaye kranti ye sra ban say radio ma mehu ye won hu ye mobo no ma me ma enye sa de a se na ye koso e wo nsawam ne ahanom ne de emwaye kra emwaye
me da say but won so asembe na obetumi aka fa kwan no
ajo kwan de nyanya ba ko kra because yeah asemo kwan de nya kra
de what's the name see China Mall
and achia obi wo China Mall because of kwan nye oh
e dey see
one we ko we ba na cars no kan yi fa wa o masa moto gan panya wa kunu because of kwan and what you come and say so aya obiawu de bia ma fo wo kwan so nya ma fo ka se na ka to form to the sraban na ontuna ni be ensa dia se de ade ne koni de enya ba ko kra sra na esra no
na de bia se ne ti ananse na se na be sa
de bia kwan de bia o kan se nso to dia forget nso antona bia nso bo amfuturo etimi ko emu sa be ko fe na yale de bia se ya kwan de
na ede na ya ka che ma fa kwan ne ho se de nti na ye nye
kwan no okay so far as the take him fa kwan ba de bia oh contractor for no buso omo ka he omo si scam by then I'm for ni ajumani because of scanty obi akọ
na driver for ne say omo be call a strike say abai na anye road na in 7 days time no by Thursday no omo call road ni so biem nti motor riders no so no then amoye
eno de asemo ye no mo yajun pa o omutimi esa ma ye no mo yajun because nansi akwabo search light ya car bi ni force e fon gbanya ekwanu choki ahanko ahamba ntinu omo no betima esa de a ebe boy pa because eso chimoto no ade be chi usisi kwani nyawon na musa gbagbagbagba sa akokoda wonam na o ya so no e chire no nti aban
medase But that's it. So there you have it from some motor riders here. They say that in addition to the bad state of the roads and how it affects their motorcycles, it also affects their health, the state of their health, because they develop waist and body pains every day plying this road up and down. You can imagine how hard it will be. Now this driver wants to talk to us. Pacho, your friend was saying, I didn't know me a car for home.
Your friend Nana Usu. Metiama sama ya ekwan de enyenyenyenyenye eye manhole enye potoso eye manhole intino eno na ma traffic trailers na etwemu no tankers ni trailers ni nyina no omu twemu a obon se car na ekona ni trim na ebu na ka si kwan mu obon wan se spring na ebu na ka si kwan mu enti yes la ban ni sa ban ni betimi ni animu yi on betimi de anwea bi kura be fele so ama cars no ebetimi akọ intentem kakranka ebeye yende eno ni yen problem ama saman for ye fi enkanka no omo won nsem omo ka ho edin ma omo sesi omo kwa omo fa trade junction eno mo akopie media kotoku eno omo de akọ sesi omo te sa pema ne nyema no omo peka omo bre because of ekwan no a enye no nti yesra aban no so ombo no mo de anopa na enwumra de enyenyenye ntimi me kwa me fa nipa from China more ni makosi omo okwan so me san efa nipa efri atimota ni mabesi omo amasama because of ombenyaka free of charge boa me sumeti me dia boa asem ye Ghana ni nti esra aban ne se obeboa yen pa.
Sunrise on 3 FM, the best in the morning.
Sorry, Aliachi.
Pokuase-Nsawan Road towards Nsawan and beyond, straight into the Ashanti region. They've been complaining about the state of the road, the construction that stalled. We've been doing some digging. We'll have the questions here. We'll be demanding for the answers on your behalf here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. If you want to stay with us so we can all come together to find a lasting solution to this problem that has bedeviled us, vehicles being destroyed, unnecessary traffic and wastage of fuel. Let's try and understand the situation from the point of engineering. Engineer Mahama is joining us on the phone line. Good morning, my brother, and thank you very much indeed for your time.
Good morning, Johnny.
Great. Good to see you, and good to hear from you, and good to see you as well on our Facebook stream. Now, first of all, let's begin the conversation. The people have been complaining and complaining and complaining. What's the inside story? What do you know?
Right, I'll say good morning to your cherished listeners and viewers on your Facebook Live. Just because the contractor stalled works due to one major problem, which was the non-payment of the IPCs, the interim payment certificates. It is instructive to note that the contractor just didn't stop works because, let's say, when he raised the certificate, let's say with a minimum threshold, he was not paid and he stopped work. This is for us to know that for 17 months, 17 solid months, the contractor had not been paid. And then the minister, if I want to quote the minister for roads and highways, he just, I think about a few days ago, he said the government has honored the IPCs, which were outstanding, to the tune of almost 77 or so million.
Right.
So, Ghanaians like yourself who appreciate, the fact that contractor didn't just say, okay, if I do work worth $10 million, I'll stop the works and wait. No, he continued to do works and accumulated that amount until at the point where he couldn't finance the continuation and the stoppage of the works. So on the corridor, there were very distressed areas. If you have been traversing the corridor, you know that from Sapperman towards Sansam Junction, that's before mid-year.
Right.
It was a little over a 3-kilometer stretch, which was really terrible. In terms of the work that was told when the contractor actually was challenged financially.
Right.
But I'm sure if you're seeing viewers and people who have been putting out the videos and pictures on that went viral last 2 weeks and previous weeks. If they should take any video today, the same locations, I'm sure you struggle to know whether that's the same place that had the challenge. Because the contractor resumed site works on Saturday.
That's correct.
And through to Sunday, when it was even drizzling a bit intense, the contractor defied all odds and continued to reshape those stretches of the road. And then yesterday and today, the same way we have continued. So those stretches are largely been dealt with, but the contractor is not stopping. Once he has received payment, it means he has already kickstarted the resumption of the works to make sure that motorists and pedestrians along the corridor are relieved from the excessive delays that they might have encountered the previous past month.
What is the standard operation procedure usually for contractors on such major projects that impact a lot of lives and communities?
Okay, so per contract across, let me say the highways or any other project, a contractor will be working, and let's say if he's given an advanced mobilization from day one, let's say for the purpose of this discussion, let's say a 10 million cedis to start work. So he will mobilize, that's why it's called advanced mobilization.
Right.
He mobilizes, set up his camp and start work, get his equipment and request for, add additional artisans, personnel, operators, train some of them, see whether they are qualified to execute the work. That's in addition to the one that he previously have. Then he will resume works. So let's say if in about 3 months the contractor releases a certificate worth about 20 million Ghana cedis, and it's time for payment, government will now be paying less than 20 million because they'll be deducting the proportion of the 10 million that was advanced to him from day one. So let's say the contractor will get about 10 certificates before the project will be completed. Anytime you raise a certificate to the government or the client, in this case, the client will be paying maybe minus the X amount of money so that before the end of the project, he would have retarded the advance that was issued to him from day one. Now, a contractor will not just say because he's supposed to work $10 million before he raises a certificate, immediately he gets the $10 million, he will stop work. Because that's why the contractor is supposed to have more financial muscle to continue the work to a certain degree or a certain extent. So he will send a certificate to continue work, he will send a certificate.
Right.
Maybe he can even do 3 certificates. And then when he's actually financially challenged, he will start to alert the client that I am getting to my wit end.
Right.
So maybe start to issue some of the IPC which are due or which are long overdue. And then he will trigger the clauses. Then after some time, if you feel like he's not getting any feedback from government, then the contractor may now stop work, starting the various clauses in the contract that will be at the two parties and understanding that the contractor actually exhausted the protocols that are within the project. So if it's interested to know that Maripoma, in this case, having received an amount of 77 million equivalent dollars PDs or whatever component that he has done beyond his work. Because actually the last year when he sent the certificate in March, he didn't stop working. In fact, so from March to March, 17 clear months, the contractor was still working. And at the point that the force or the gang was reduced to a certain stage, and then finally there was some stalled works before the government, this current government, inspected the IPCs, audited the IPCs, and then eventually issued payment to the contractor, which has led to the contractor moving back to the site to start works in NS.
Now, again, for those who are complaining and trying to politicize this conversation, you are an expert in this field. Is that the way to go?
Like you said, those people who are just on the media or the bloggers now, because of the proliferation of the media, social media handles, a lot of them are not for the positivity of all the kings of the country. Others, you can just see that some of them just go, and because they are really bereft with information on the road, they just cash in and just get the sensations and then steal all those misinformation that may not be in line with the project. A government would have to vet, audit, and then make sure that he's actually paying monies which are legitimately due the contractor. So in as much as there was some inconvenience on the road, the same persons may come and hand government that government has maybe paid excessive money that the contractor were not due, only for money audit, you and I, the taxpayer. So it's a chicken and egg situation at a point. But government will decide on what to do in the best interest of Ghanaians. So if they were doing their vetting, who are you and I to go and just query them to just go and effect payment when the contractors are just being audited to get right in terms of that.
And again, it comes back to the other conversation that the drivers are threatening to go on a strike, not to ply the road on Thursday. Now that the contractor is back on site, would it be worth a while for them to go on that tangent on Thursday?
Okay, so the contractor has resumed, and I'm sure that the same persons who were making those, positive noise, let me put it that way, because it was justified. But I'm going to demonstrate because you are wearing a white shirt, and today you have changed the white shirt because you are wearing the one that suits me. Why would I demonstrate again when the person has moved to site and indicating that he is putting in all effort to get the road very more travel? And like I said, anybody who wants to be very candid would say that what they saw from Saturday, aggressive works ongoing, even with the precipitation on and off, the drains are coming in and going. The contractor has not reneged on his hours. He are actually on the site working with all the gangs. But there are about 5 gangs currently working.
Okay. Amasaman,
around the Sapeman, around Shipon Pele, and between the Kuntunsi to the Sansam Junction Street, in both directions. So, for instance, this morning I traveled the route in about 20 minutes.
Right.
Either people were doing about 5 hours and whatever in the area. So it's really proper that the GPRTU or the transport unions, they are not out of the place. So they are on the road. They would have seen a massive improvement in just under 72 hours of work ongoing. And so if they want to be very honest with the situation, I'm sure they will hold on and see that at least in the coming days, is the contractor going to stall works or is going to continue as they have started? And it's instructive. The minister has stated that payment has been issued to the contractor. So there's no way the contractor is going to stop the works now. And then, as I just spoke on 3FM, TV3.
TV3, right.
We need to be very brutal with the facts. And then all of us have to make sure that we at least go according to standard specification across the globe. You go to UK and you drive in and you're going 20 miles per hour, even in the built-up area, and you'll be penalized, right? When you're in a construction zone in Ghana, or Pokuase-Nsawan, there's a speed limit, which is 30 kilometers per hour.
That's right.
And people are doing 80 kilometers per hour minimum. I'm using that one to say that if we get out of the wet season, the immediate dry season, you see that the next comment that will come from all the media houses, including some of the bloggers who may not understand it, is that there's a lot of dust. Why would we generate more dust on the gravel road? It's because you are not going within the design time speed limit they are supposed to move within that corridor. The contractor is giving the 30 kilometers per hour, not because he doesn't want you to speed, but there are a lot of activities that are happening at sections of the road. There are excessive cuts, excessive fail, even though they have word, a caution tape and other things. When you are the one leading the fray and you are speeding, because you have a very good car, you have road your glass.
Right.
The other vehicles behind you may have difficulty having to have side clearance.
Mm-hmm.
Aside that, we have to be mindful that there are residents who are actually staying at both sides of the road corridor, and they are constantly receiving the dust in their room because somebody is actually being above the minimum by 3 times. So these are the few things. And then once the contractor started, I just had a meeting with the workers this morning, and we told them that they should be extremely tolerant as usual, because this is the time you see drivers who want to use. Some of them will tell you, you know who I am, and then they move in directions where they're not supposed to move. And you see, there have been 4 or 5 major gridlocks on the road. And it happens when drivers decide to take the laws into their own hands, when traffic wardens have told them to move in X direction, and they will move in Y direction on their own. You don't know what is happening at TV3 when Johnny Hughes is standing at Kanda, saying that don't move in the left direction, because he's a worker, he knows what they are doing on that stretch. So when it tells you to move in the Y corridor, it's only proper that you adhere to it and move it so that smoothly, within about a very short time, you would have traversed that route. But unfortunately, these are the challenges that the contractors are confronted with every day in and out. So sometimes we have to bring in a police to come and sanitize the situation on the road.
Now, there are those who say that, look, why don't you focus on just one side of the road, complete it, redirect traffic there, so that you can complete the other side at your own time and at your own will? What do you say to that as an engineer?
Yeah, so I've heard this over the years. There are places we do what we call excessive cuts, excessive filling.
Okay.
When I am challenged with space, let's say I have only 15 meters to do a contraflow in and out. But the situation there means that I have to do about 4-meter cutting. It means that the gravel is not suitable for the road. So I have to cut deep and then remove and bring another one.
Right.
You can't cut half of that section because if you want to cut half, you have to slope the other so that the earth doesn't collapse.
Right.
So the only thing you can do is that you provide alternative, maybe you restrict movement to a single lane so that you can cut heavily on the other side. And then when you're able to fill to the level, you put traffic there and cut the leftover on the right-hand side.
Okay.
If you're having a place where you're doing excessive filling and you're actually challenged with space in the middle, same applies. But in areas where you have the road at grade, you don't do any excessive cut and excessive fill. In those on the stretch of the road, there are areas that the contractor has actually implemented what you're talking about, where the road is done in one direction and the other places make more trouble for other vehicles to do a contraflow in and out movement in those sections. But if you are doing a bridge, let's say the one that will be coming anytime soon at the Nsawan Junction, it's just like Tantra Hill.
Right.
You see before you turn the mall. If you are going to do that cutting, the Tantra Hill has a filling station on the right, that's the gas filling and the oil filling station. That cutting cannot be done in half because you can't hold the other side for vehicles to move on it. So you have to provide an alternative diversion, probably at the Tantra Hill oil filling station, and do the cutting once and for all, do the retaining wall, and bring the traffic back. But if you're not doing any cutting, that is beyond 1 meter, you can now do what you are making the proposal. And this is known to every engineer who traverses the corridor. But just that, one of the things that we have to improve on is the traffic management from the contractor and then traffic adherence from the motorists. And then the last one will be the abandoned vehicles on the road and the penchant of people trying to work on their vehicles on the road, like they are turning the road as a mechanic shop.
Right.
Especially the foreigners. So you see, in fact, this morning I identified about 6 trucks that have been on the road for more than 5 weeks. They are yet to move. Yes. I'll send my guys to send you pictures of those. One is a gas tank, and one is a trailer which is loaded with the coils. And see, I think 2 months ago, or about 2.5 months ago, I had to bring in the Amasaman police to come and move 2 cars for us. One was a long bus. They have a brand in gas, so I don't want to mention their name. And then one was a vehicle that was going to take mangoes, and it developed a fault. And the freshly constructed asphalt,
right,
the mango was left there to rot, and it was discharging that acid chemical mixed with the oil on the road. When I got there, that they were so livid that we had to move to the police station and get them to come and we didn't get the driver. So we were about to tow the car. The driver surfaced, and he was made to wash the road with water. We provided him with a water tanker,
right, and
he washed the road with the brooms. The contractor will finish the road, and ironically, the same person will come and say that this area has developed potholes. But if you're actually discharging diesel or oil, which is a reactant to the asphalt, the bitumen. The bitumen is one of the end product of fuel.
Right.
So with any vehicle, by anyone who's listening to you this morning, if any vehicle is parked on a highway or any road, and mechanics are working there and then, discharging fuel, engine oil on the said road, you are each other's keeper. We have to hold them to account. They have to put a container that will distillate all the fluid or the oil, and then find tarpaulins or geotextile materials, put them there before they can work on it. If the cars need to be worked on immediately at the said location, otherwise we'll have pockets of potholes and a very good road, and then go turn around and blame the contractor, forgetting that but we're all the masterminders who caused the sectional and localized potholes on the same stretch of road.
Now, so are you saying that this morning, if I decide to use that stretch, I will not have the unpleasant journey that the drivers have been complaining about along with their passengers?
Yes, I would wait for you. So I will invite you for lunch after your program.
Engineer Mahama, we're grateful for your time. Any closing thoughts before you go?
Adherence and patience. I'm sure the contractor is worth his salt. Malproma is a very big company, and they've tried. What we are trying to say that the motorists and pedestrians along the corridor should just be patient a bit and adhere to the protocols, and the contractor will put up a very good product for them to buy. And in this case, the most the distressed area that went viral in the coming weeks, not more than 8 weeks is even to the extreme. Very in unforeseen weather adversities.
Right.
Those stretches will see a very good pavement stretches that Ghanaians would quickly forget and enjoy the road.
Great.
And I thank you, and I thank them for their tolerance and their patience. For the GPRTUs, I'm sure that they can come on the road today and assess it before they plan on their intended demonstration. I'm sure they will have a second thought on that when they come to the road and see the contractor working in full capacity.
Thank you very much.
I want to call you, don't pick. You are owing me.
Engineer Mahama, sorry, sometimes I have no battery. I don't have credit. Forgive me. But